And today is day 15 of my nomination by Paul M. Bomb to do my 25 push-ups in 25 days with a different variation each day, raising awareness for mental health issues like stress, anxiety, depression and PTSD that can eventually lead to suicide. I'm really running out of ideas of push-ups now, guys, so please, if you've got some more, put them in the comments. Continuing to build on the preparation for a good nighttime routine for best improved sleep, we've looked at the impact that blue lights from our handheld devices and screens has on our sleep, and social media. Now it's time to take a look at caffeine, as it's by far the most readily available and easily accessible stimulant to get us up and ready to go in the mornings. Caffeine, either by chance or our evolutionary relationship with it, has an affinity with our physiology. Its molecular structure is very similar to a byproduct of human movement called adenosine. And adenosine's role, among others, is to be collected up through receptors in the brain, which acts like your body's egg timer, energy egg timer. And when it reaches a certain level, this then sends a signal to your body that it's time to sleep. And along comes caffeine, with its similar shape, finding its way into these receptor sites, blocking up the entrance for the adenosine being produced in the body. But caffeine isn't done yet. It also stimulates the release of adrenaline and cortisol, firing you right up. Now this is all well and good until the caffeine is finally metabolized, meaning adrenaline drops and all that adenosine that's been building up in the body gets rapidly metabolized, leaving us crashing and burning. So what's the first thing we do? Reach for another coffee. And this is where the vicious cycle begins. Now studies show, which I'll link to the study that I'm referencing in the comments box below, that caffeine not only has a 6-hour half-life, but also impacts the amount of REM and deep sleep that you experience. So if you're reaching for that cup of coffee at 5 PM, by 11 PM you still have half the amount of caffeine charging around your system, which is already elevated cortisol and adrenaline. And we know from our previous videos that if cortisol is high, melatonin is low. And if adrenaline is elevated in your system, sleep is not on the cards anytime soon. And when we're lying in bed, wide awake at night, what is the first thing that we do? We reach for our phones, get the blue light glowing in our face, and we start scrolling through our news feeds, triggering dopamine, keeping us right in that vicious cycle of no sleep. So you can see now how everything is so interconnected that by setting yourself up for a good nighttime routine early, you're giving yourself the best chance of good quality sleep. And if you do enjoy a coffee, that's absolutely fine, but make sure you leave at least 6 hours clear of your bedtime to make sure that you get the best quality sleep possible without being impacted. Right, it's time for push-ups. Johnny Young, you're up next, brother.